What is going on, HaloUnion? My name is Orphanslayer, and I am bringing you the third episode of the Montage review. From now on, it is going to be me doing all these episodes. It's been a pain in the ass to try and coordinate it with a whole bunch of people, so expect the Montage reviews to be from me from now until whenever we stop doing this, which hopefully will not be anytime soon. But this is an excellent week. There are 5 great montages I'm really looking forward to reviewing, so let's get to this. Up first is 4.14.2, which is edited by SillyGoose and has gameplay from Sandman. This montage was excellent in my opinion. It had awesome fast pace to it. I love fast paced montages. The syncing, as is traditional for SillyGoose, was absolutely incredible. And honestly, I think SillyGoose is probably the best out there, if not the best, one of the best. As far as capping angles goes, he has some excellent cinematography. And he does an excellent job on top of that using the panning and cropping both on those angles and in the gameplay in general. Overall though, there was nothing really new about this video. It was the same generic SillyGoose style, which honestly I love, so I have no problem with. But there was no really originality in either the gameplay or the editing. The gameplay itself was excellent for social leftovers, which is what it was. There were high multis, 6 shots, all that stuff. Overall, I'd say the edit was an 8 out of 10, did an excellent job with the fast pace and the sync, but didn't really bring anything new, didn't have any really great effects or anything. I'd also give the gameplay an 8 out of 10. It was solid, but again, nothing special, just very high quality, average social gameplay. Next up is Campy's Halo Reach Montage 2, and obviously from Campy the gameplay was absolutely incredible, probably the best in Reach so far. As far as MLG goes, and even social as well. He had a mixture of both, which was awesome. As far as editing goes, some of the sync was a little bit off, but for the most part it was solid. It had a couple really decent transitions in it. There was one early on to Countdown that was pretty sick. It didn't really have that campy feel to me that some of his Halo 3 montages had, like Apex and his 4th montage. And this was similar to his Reach Montage 1, where I just didn't feel like it really had that campy feel to it. On top of that, the CC, or color correction, was really boring, was really dull. I wasn't really a fan of the second body song, which I know is a small thing and totally subjective, but I really couldn't get into it. Also, the intro titles were very lackluster. I wasn't a huge fan of them, but again, not a big deal. Overall, I'd say the montage could have used a little more editing, maybe been a little more fast-paced, gone with the traditional Campy style, similar to that in Apex. But overall, it was pretty solid and did an excellent job of showing the gameplay, which I guess is most important to some people. I think that I'd give the edit a 6 out of 10. It was not bad, but it really didn't keep me interested throughout the entire thing. However, the gameplay, I would give it 9.5 out of 10, because I think it's probably the best we've seen in Reach, but it was lacking a little bit in originality. Some of the shots were incredible. He had these whip no-scopes and stuff like that for high multis, and then for like overs and MLG against pros and top amateur players. So I'd say that's a 9.5 out of 10. Would be a 10 if there was more originality, but overall, very, very solid. Up next is Kranking and Zed's Dualtage, edited by Local. This is a Halo Reach video that I really enjoyed. It was overall a very solid montage. It had a solid intro, which I found the song to be great, and the editing went very well with the song. One of the things that I didn't really like was this overuse of this really like zoomed in but low to the ground angle that would move along the ground. I think that was a little bit overused and got kind of annoying after a while. But overall, the cinematography was very good. I think Local did an excellent job with the capturing. The sync was very strong and on point. I loved the syncing in this montage. Some of the transitions were great. There was a nice masking transition early on that I really, really liked. The song was somewhat generic and there wasn't too much originality through it, but most of the gameplay was solid, decent MLG gameplay with a few fillers, but overall pretty solid. I'd give the edit on this a 7 out of 10 because it really didn't do too much to stand out, but it was very solid, had an excellent sync and great flow. The gameplay I'd also give a 7 out of 10 because it was pretty good high-level MLG gameplay, but there were quite a few filler clips and some that just didn't overall impress me. But still, solid gameplay, solid editing, great montage overall. The fourth montage that I'll be reviewing today was Unwind 2, edited by Zola, with gameplay from a bunch of those guys from the Rewind series, and some other new guys as well. But this montage was really enjoyable. It had a great feel to it. It showed the entertaining and fun side of Reach, which is something you don't really see. You see a lot of try-hard MLG clips and a lot of really high multi-kills where people are all in the same spots, and this really showed how much fun you can actually have in Reach if you try. I think this was a little bit too long. There were some clips that really weren't that funny or were a little bit repetitive, but I found that the music was very fitting. I think Zola did an excellent job with the song choice, as he usually does. Overall, I wouldn't really give this a gameplay or editing rating because it's not really traditional montage where you're going to judge the gameplay or the editing, but I'd give it a feel rating of like an 8.5 out of 10. It really was just fun to watch, and I really got into it. If it was a tad bit shorter, I think I would have enjoyed it a little more overall, but no real complaints there. Excellent montage, as usual, from that crew. For this week's Montage Spotlight, we have tranQ making another appearance in the montage review. This guy just churns out excellent content like it's his job, and I'm not just saying that because tranQ is my favorite foreign fellow, but his final montage was a legitimately amazing montage that I really enjoyed. The song choice was absolutely excellent in my opinion. It had an unreal chill flow, meaning like the pace of it was slow. It was a chill montage in general, but the flow was incredible. The syncing was on point. Everything about it was great. Some of the titles in the intro were a little lackluster, but overall that didn't really detract from the overall experience. The intro clip was really a pretty solid clip. It was a spree in MLG against what seemed like pretty decent players, but I felt that it kind of dragged on a little, and I wanted to like see that clip end and for the video to progress. Overall, the gameplay was some of the most clean and entertaining I've seen in Halo 3, which is saying something because there have been tons and tons of montages released over the years. Some of the clips themselves were actually incredibly unique. There was an isolation splatter and a construct lift betrayal that I thought were both really cool, unique clips. Some of the transitions were cool, like most of the time it was crossfades, but there was one with a sniper masked out on high ground that I really enjoyed. And then this is a small thing, but I actually found that the length of this montage was just about perfect for me. I love seeing montages within the 6 to 7 minute range, maybe give or take 30 seconds. I feel that's the perfect amount of time to keep me interested, but not to think that it ends too early. The color correction I actually thought really worked well for this, just a basic contrast, but it worked so well with the clips. It was perfect for what this montage was trying to achieve, which is solid flow, show the gameplay, really good clips. This montage, I just really can't even explain some of the parts, how awesome they were. At 4:07 in the montage, when the like really emotional part of the song picked up, it just sent chills through me. It was really incredible. And yeah, some of the clips, the no scopes and quick scopes and all these shots were just really insane. Overall, the angles were pretty solid. I mean, they weren't like SillyGoose quality or anything, but they were pretty solid. I didn't think they took away too much, and they really were solid. Yeah. The relatively infrequent use of effects really, I think, added to them when they were used, and overall, I thought they helped make this montage, for what it was, all the better. So I really give props to tranQ for that. And obviously, when someone does, similar to Campy, edits and gameplay at the same time, I'm always impressed by that. Overall, I'd say the edit in this is a 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Really solid. There were a few things, and just the overall fact that it wasn't really intensive editing, like something that maybe Haunt or Atiamark or someone like them would do. But it was very solid overall. Gameplay, I would give a 9.5 out of 10 because it was really some of the most entertaining stuff that I've seen in Halo 3. I mean, some of the really sick shots just really kept me watching, and that's generally something that doesn't happen for me. I'm not too big of a gameplay guy, but clips like this really entertain me, so I give props to tranQ for that. But that about wraps it up. Thanks a lot to everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you will go check out the montages, check out the editors and the players. They all are excellent, and they really do a lot for keeping the Halo community alive. Go and check out the videos. Links in the description and on the screen right now via annotations. I would really appreciate it if you check them out. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully we will see you all next week.